Durk has been locked up in Broward County Jail. Oh my God, bro. He's locked up.
Durk, whose real name is Durk Devontae Banks, has been arrested, accused in a for-hire plot near the Beverly Center.
Dirty, yo.
The streets are buzzing, and the internet is straight up on fire right now. What started as whispers in the trenches has exploded into a full-blown federal storm. Lil Durk, yes, the voice himself, is reportedly locked in solitary confinement, and word is, this ain't just about him. The feds are connecting dots, drawing red lines across headlines, and guess whose name just got pulled into the madness? King Vaughn. But not in the way you'd expect. Now here's where it gets crazy. They say this whole thing might have been revenge, tied to none other than Quando Rondo. Yeah. The dude who's been ducking the spotlight since Vaughn's tragic death is allegedly at the center of a federal case that's turning darker and deeper by the day. This isn't no regular rap beef. This is RICO-level, career-ending, life-altering type drama. And guess what? Fans are going crazy, bloggers are scrambling, and even people close to Durk are saying they didn't see this coming. So now we gotta ask, is this about street justice? Or something much more calculated? Drop what you're doing, cause this story is about to break everything you thought you knew wide open. Voiceover starts over a dramatic beat with moody visuals of jail bars, blurred court documents, and Chicago streets fading into each other. It all started with a whisper, a rumor in the wind, coming out of the darkest corners of Chicago's South Side. At first, it felt like just another conspiracy theory floating around Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube comment sections. But what was speculation turned deadly serious overnight. The breaking news hit like a grenade. Lil Durk, aka The Voice, has been placed in solitary confinement. And the reason? Not drugs. Not weapons. Not parole violation. No, it's deeper than rap. According to early federal court leaks, the feds are making bold connections between the 2020 death of King Vaughn and a calculated revenge plot involving Quando Rondo, a plot they claim Durk may have had a hand in. That's right. The authorities aren't calling this a beef anymore. They're calling it a conspiracy. And in the feds' world, that means RICO. That means surveillance tapes, wiretaps, and years of investigation boiled down into one monster case that could bring Durk down for good. Now let's rewind the timeline a little. Back in 2020, the hip-hop world was rocked when King Vaughn, one of Chicago's rawest and most respected voices, was gunned down outside an Atlanta hookah lounge. The surveillance footage was brutal. Vaughn, known for never backing down, got into a fight with Quando Rondo's crew. Moments later, shots rang out, and Vaughn was lying in a pool of blood. The streets cried out. Social media was flooded. Vaughn wasn't just a rapper, he was family to many. And to Durk, Vaughn was more than just an OTF artist. That was his little bro, his protege. They weren't just business, they were blood in everything but DNA. And from that night forward, nothing was the same. Durk went silent for a minute, then came back with music full of pain, vengeance, and coded messages. Fans noticed. Lyrics that once celebrated money and success suddenly hinted at loss, betrayal, and street justice. I talked to Vaughn on the daily still, he said in one track. But now fans and feds alike are questioning. Was that metaphor, or something more sinister? Fast forward to 2023. Quando Rondo, who had been quiet and ducked off for months, suddenly resurfaces. New look, new music, and supposedly, a new mindset. But the streets weren't buying it. Just months later, Quando's vehicle was sprayed with bullets in Savannah. His cousin was killed. No arrests were made. No suspects named. But behind the scenes, the feds were already watching. They'd been tracking cell towers, tapping phones, following money trails. And guess whose name kept popping up in the margins? Durk Banks. The feds claim they picked up encrypted messages, coded cash drops, and odd travel patterns that link OTF affiliates to Savannah just weeks before the shooting. It's unclear if Durk ever physically left Chicago, but they're not trying to charge him with pulling a trigger. They're trying to prove he orchestrated something. From the top. And that's why Durk is in solitary. Not for punishment. For isolation, while the feds work to break the people around him. And here's where it gets even crazier. Sources close to the case, we're talking anonymous insiders who've worked with both the GBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and the FBI's Organized Crime Division, are saying that this ain't just about Quando. They believe there's a whole scorecard tied to King Vaughn's death, and multiple names are on it. Enter Memo 600, Buka 600, even rumors swirling around Lil Zay Osama and an up-and-coming OTF affiliate known only by the initials JP. These dudes are allegedly being watched too. Every post, every lyric, every flight. The feds are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. But it ain't just law enforcement turning up the heat. Social media detectives are wilding out too. Fans have dug up Instagram lives from 2021 showing Durk in the studio with Vaughn's little brother, Timmy. In one clip, Timmy says, "We don't talk, we slide. And when we slide, it's silent." That video alone has been reposted over 1 million times. Every bar is now being seen as potential evidence. And then came the leak. A mysterious email dropped into the inboxes of several hip-hop media blogs. An anonymous tip from someone claiming to be a former OTF insider. In it, they say, Durk didn't order nothing. But he knew. And he didn't stop it. That's why the feds are pushing for conspiracy. They say he played chess with bodies instead of pawns. The email also mentioned one wild allegation, that Durk met up secretly in Miami with a known arms dealer connected to the same supplier Quando Rondo's crew had ties to. No photos, no proof, just heavy claims. But in this world, hype travels faster than truth. And once Say Cheese TV picked it up, game over. It hit YouTube's trending page within hours. Durk's team is split. On one side, you got loyal day ones who are riding till the wheels fall off. On the other, quiet whispers of betrayal, power struggles, and folks trying to cut deals to save themselves. Sources say one OTF member, whose name we won't drop yet, has already been brought in for questioning. He was supposedly caught slipping in LA with an unregistered Glock and was offered a deal, talk or sit. He didn't talk, yet. But the pressure is building. And let's not forget the other side of the coin, Quando Rondo. While he's been playing low-key, word is he's terrified. Insiders say he's been moving with 3 layers of security, switching albums every 3 days, and hasn't performed live in nearly 6 months. Some say it's paranoia. Others say it's survival. Because here's the chilling part, it's not just Durk the feds are watching. It's Quando too. If they prove this is a back-and-forth street war disguised as music beef, everyone involved could go down. And just when you think that's all boom, in walks NBA youngboy. YB's name isn't officially in the case, but you already know how close he was to Quando. They've been tight since day one. And when Vaughn died, YB's energy on social media was, let's just say, not exactly peaceful. Now, word on the street is that the feds haven't ruled out looking into his label, Never Broke Again, for potential connections to weapons and money laundering. Could be nothing. Could be something. But what's certain is this, with Durk in solitary, the feds applying pressure, and the streets choosing sides, this ain't just a case anymore. It's a movie. A twisted, emotional, betrayal-filled saga that's turning Chicago, Atlanta, and Savannah into ground zero for the next generation of hip-hop's legal wars. Scene cuts to a fake courtroom sketch of Durk with his head down, surrounded by federal agents. Word is, the next 72 hours are crucial. The feds are gathering last-minute warrants, Durk's team is scrambling for top-dollar attorneys, and OTF's entire operation is on pause. But this ain't just about lawyers and charges. This is about legacy. If Durk falls, Vaughn's story gets even darker. If he walks, the streets will celebrate, but the feds might just regroup and come harder. And the fans? They're divided. Some are screaming, "Free Durk" until it's backwards. Others are posting memes about OTF being only the feds. The internet's eating it up, but the people living this? They're shook. Because for the first time in a long time, the top dog might actually lose everything. Scene opens with moody shots of a federal building, reporters swarming, and blurred images of phone records, followed by a black SUV pulling up to an unknown location. As the second day of Durk's solitary confinement ticked by, tensions reached a boiling point, not just inside the prison walls, but in the streets, the industry, And most of all, inside the OTF camp. People close to Durk, some who've been around since his first mixtape days, were reportedly not allowed to contact him. Even his mother, who flew in from Chicago to try and visit, was turned away at the gate. The excuse? Ongoing federal investigation. That's when folks started realizing this wasn't just an arrest. This was a takedown. And behind the scenes, the feds were working fast. Too fast. Multiple sources claimed subpoenas were flying out to social media companies. Instagram DMs. Snapchat deletes. Encrypted apps like Signal. They were pulling everything. Any connection to Quando Rondo, NBA Youngboy, and even past beefs dating back to 2018 were suddenly fair game. Durk's lawyer, in a rare public statement, said, "My client is being held in solitary confinement without formal charges. We view this as intimidation. Nothing more. Nothing less." But inside, Durk knew the play. He's been around long enough to recognize the Fed's favorite move: lock up the leader, then flip the crew. And that's exactly what they tried. Enter OTF member, DLO, a mid-level artist who had been slowly building his buzz in Atlanta. Known for his flashy cars, designer fits, and loyal to the grave catchphrase, DLO was picked up 2 days after Durk's isolation. What was he arrested for? Not murder. Not drugs. Tax fraud. But just like that, he was face to face with federal agents in a cold, windowless room. And they didn't want to talk about taxes. They wanted to talk about King Vaughn. About Quando. About Miami. About gun runners. "You're not our target," one agent reportedly said. "But you're holding the keys to someone who is." And here's the twist. DLO didn't fold. At least, not right away. But as the hours turned into days, rumors started leaking. Someone, no one knows who, saw him leave federal custody without cuffs. And the internet went ballistic. Hashtags like #DLO snitched and #OTF Rat Pack started trending. Memes showed up with DLO in a rat costume, and fans dug up old footage of him saying, "I'd never flip." Now, that clip's being used as a punchline. But hold up, not everyone's convinced. Some say the feds let him go on purpose, to stir chaos inside OTF, to plant seeds, to make Durk paranoid. And guess what? It's working. Back inside solitary, Durk was reportedly furious. Sources say he demanded to speak to his lawyer immediately, refusing meals and not speaking to guards for over 24 hours. Inmates nearby said they could hear him yelling in his cell, banging on the door, pacing non-stop. "They tryna break me. But I ain't foldin'. I ain't going out like that." Those were reportedly his words to a prison guard. Meanwhile, fans outside were gathering. Outside the Chicago Federal Courthouse, a group of about 60 supporters held up signs, "Free Durk. Justice for Vaughn. This ain't rap, this a setup." One fan even brought a giant cardboard cutout of Vaughn, standing silently in the background like a ghost watching everything unfold. And guess who showed up unannounced? Asian Doll. Vaughn's former flame. She walked straight through the crowd, no security, tears in her eyes, and whispered to reporters, "They took Vaughn. Now they tryna take Durk. But we not letting that happen." Fans rallied around her, but the internet? Not so kind. Some accused her of clout chasing. Others defended her, saying she was the only one keeping Vaughn's name alive. Either way, her presence made headlines, and reminded everyone that this case isn't just about facts. It's about feelings. Raw, unresolved pain from 2020 that never got justice. And while all this played out, Quando Rondo was nowhere to be seen. But then boom. A cryptic post appears on his Instagram story, white background, black letters. "If I said what I knew, y'all wouldn't sleep tonight." The internet exploded. What did he mean? Was he talking about Vaughn? About Durk? About the shooting in Savannah? Speculation went wild. Some fans think he's teasing new music. Others think he's low-key cooperating, sending signals to people on the outside. And then, a wild claim hits YouTube from an anonymous blogger. The video title? Quando Rondo is wearing a wire. Here's the proof. Now listen, the proof was sketchy at best. Blurry audio, slowed down clips, and vague gestures from Quando in an old interview. But the video racked up over 2.7 million views in 48 hours. That's how desperate the fans are for answers. Even if the truth's not there, the hype is. Now let's talk about someone no one expected to get involved. Lil Baby. Yeah. Out of nowhere, Lil Baby posts a cryptic tweet. It's always the closest ones. That's it. No context. No follow-up. But the internet didn't need one. Fans started wondering, was he talking about OTF? About someone flipping? Or was he talking about Durk? See, Durk and Baby had been tight. Joint tours, collab albums, all that. But they hadn't been seen together in months. No recent IG likes. No public appearances. And then this tweet drops. It sparked a whole new theory, that maybe Lil Baby distanced himself for a reason, not because of beef, but because he knew something was coming. And guess who added fuel to the fire? DJ Academics. He went live and said, "I've been hearing chatter since last year that the feds were cooking something up. Durk knew. Baby knew. Hell, even Meek heard about it. Y'all think these rappers are clueless? Nah. They got lawyers who catch wind of things early. That's why folks been moving funny." Meanwhile, Durk's baby mama breaks her silence in a teary-eyed Instagram live. She says, "People keep asking me if I'm scared. Of course I'm scared. That's my son's father. They got him locked like he's El Chapo. All I'm saying is, Durk ain't that person. He's been trying to leave that life behind." But her live gets interrupted, not by trolls, but by a call from jail. The screen freezes, then the classic jail call voice plays. "You have a collect call from." She panics, ends the live. Viewers go nuts. Clips spread across TikTok, Twitter, Reddit. People start dissecting everything she said, trying to decode the call. Some swear they heard Vaughn's name mentioned in the background. Others think it was a warning. But one thing's for sure, Durk was reaching out, even from the hole. Back on the legal side, the feds weren't slowing down. By now, they'd reportedly issued over 14 subpoenas, frozen 2 OTF-related bank accounts, and were preparing a sealed indictment expected to drop within the week. That indictment, sources say, could include multiple artists, managers, and possibly one major label executive. Industry insiders are sweating. One Atlantic Records exec reportedly said off the record, "If this RICO drops the way they say it will, it's gonna shake the whole rap game. This ain't just about Durk anymore. It's about what rap labels have been ignoring or hiding for years." Meanwhile, on the streets of Chicago, a quiet war brews. Several OTF-affiliated Instagram pages go dark. People close to the camp start moving out of apartments. Cars disappear from usual spots. No one's saying anything, but everyone's watching everything. Cut to black and white visuals of Durk's early life, Englewood blocks, old concert footage, baby pictures with Vaughn in the background. How did it come to this? From rising out of the mud, to becoming one of the most respected voices in the game, to now facing federal time over a case built on revenge, loyalty, and silence. Durk always said, "I ain't scared of jail. I been there." But this time, this ain't the county. This is the feds. And in their world, loyalty is a liability. Fade into a dimly lit shot of Durk's cell door, the clank of metal echoing as another day in solitary begins. The screen flashes, day 6 in isolation. The pressure was building like a bomb with no timer. Durk was in solitary. DLO was missing from the streets. Asian Doll was making noise. The feds were circling like vultures. And then it happened. An indictment leaked. At first, no one believed it. But screenshots started flooding X, Twitter. A 43-page sealed document titled, "United States vs. Banks, Rondo, and Affiliates." Banks, as in Durk Banks. Rondo, as in Quando Rondo. Affiliates, a list of unnamed individuals whose initials matched several OTF and NBA-affiliated names. Within minutes, the internet caught fire. YouTubers went live. IG bloggers posted cryptic captions. TikTok sleuths dropped decoding videos faster than the FBI could hit refresh. One post claimed, "This indictment is gonna do what YSL's RICO couldn't." But this one hit different, because it wasn't just street stuff. This one had money trails, flight logs, timestamps, lyrics being cited as intent. Whole paragraphs pulled straight from songs like Backdoor, Still Trappin', and even Durk and Vaughn's twin Nem. And just when fans were processing the leak, Quando Rondo vanished. No posts, no shows, no appearances. His legal team said they hadn't heard from him. And that's when wild rumors began to spiral. Had Quando gone on the run? Was he hiding from Durk's people? Or worse, was he already in federal custody? Then DJ Vlad dropped a bombshell on his morning podcast. "I spoke with a lawyer familiar with the case. They're saying Quando may have been cooperating before the indictment even dropped. They've had his phone tapped for months." The streets were stunned. Because if Quando flipped, the war's over before it began. But was it real? Or was Vlad just fanning flames? Hours later, a grainy photo leaked. Quando Rondo, in what appeared to be a federal building, surrounded by 2 U.S. Marshals. No chains, no cuffs, just him, hoodie up, head down. Fans were shook. "It's over," one post read. "If Quando talks, Durk's done." But Durk? He was still silent. Day 7 in solitary, and not a single word to the public. His lawyer was tight-lipped. OTF's main pages had gone dark. Even his closest inner circle, people like Buka 600 and DJ Bands, were MIA from socials. It was like everyone had hit pause. But the streets were loud. Chicago lit up with energy, both hopeful and hostile. Murals of King Vaughn were covered in Free Durk graffiti. Rival gangs posted threats on social media. A well-known O-Block affiliate posted a live saying, "They takin our leaders. We ain't takin it quiet." But the real twist was still coming. Because on day 8, Durk's legal team filed an emergency motion to move him from solitary into general population, citing mental health risks and pre-trial abuse tactics. But what shocked everyone wasn't the motion. It was the statement attached to it. In a handwritten note from Durk himself, addressed to the court, he said, "I've already lost a brother. I won't lose my soul in this box. I did not harm that man. I did not order nothing. If you gon' charge me, charge me. But don't bury me before the trial." And just like that, the tide shifted. The rap world reacted instantly. Meek Mill reposted Durk's note with a caption, "This system built to crush our voices. I stand with bro." Lil TJ dropped a surprise freestyle called Letters from the Hole, name-dropping Vaughn, Durk, and hinting at surveillance in the Bronx. Even 21 Savage, who had stayed quiet for months, finally chimed in. These feds trying to rap better than rappers now. And the fans? They felt every word. Because now, it wasn't just a criminal case. It was a civil war between culture and control. The industry was divided. Some started scrubbing songs featuring Durk from streaming playlists. Others doubled down, making tribute mixes, vowing to never stop bumping Vaughn and Durk's collabs. But one thing was clear. Everyone was waiting on one thing: Durk's first court appearance. And when that day came, it was pure chaos. Helicopters circled the courthouse. SWAT officers on rooftops. Dozens of media outlets live-streamed from the parking lot. Hundreds of fans flooded the steps chanting "Free the Voice." And when Durk stepped out the van, surrounded by U.S. Marshals, wearing a tan jumpsuit and bulletproof vest, it was dead silent. He didn't speak. Just looked straight into the crowd, eyes tired, jaw clenched, hands cuffed. Inside the courtroom, the prosecution dropped their opening statement. This is not just about lyrics. This is not about fame. This is about conspiracy, calculated retaliation, and using music as a cover for organized crime. But Durk's lawyer clapped back with, "You don't indict someone for their friends. You don't isolate a man for his past. You prove guilt, and today they can't." The judge granted Durk's removal from solitary, pending trial. He would return to general population, but no bond. The feds claimed he was too influential and posed a strategic threat. Now the countdown begins. Durk's trial is set for early next year. The full indictment is expected to be unsealed any day. Quando Rondo's legal team, still silent. And Vaughn's name, etched in the middle of it all. A ghost haunting every courtroom line, every lyric used as evidence, every fan comment hoping for justice or revenge. Because this isn't just the fall of a rapper. This is the unraveling of a brotherhood, torn apart by loss, loyalty, and a system that knows how to wait. Slow-motion shots of Durk's concerts, Vaughn's murals, court sketches, fans crying, lawyers arguing, headlines flying. What happens next? Will Durk beat the case and walk away a legend, scarred but standing? Will Quando Rondo take the stand and become the biggest hip-hop snitch since Tekashi? Or is there another twist coming, one nobody saw? Because if this is chess, someone just called check. And if it's war, the last move's about to be played. And now, we want to hear from you. Is this really a government overreach? Or is this the price of living too close to the line between the streets and the stage? Do you think Lil Durk is guilty of anything? Or is this just the feds trying to tear down yet another black artist on the rise? Was Quando Rondo a target? Or a trigger? And what about King Vaughn? Will his name ever be cleared from the whispers and the war? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. No holding back. Let us know, is this a setup or a takedown? A conspiracy or a cover-up? And don't forget, if you're here for real stories, raw energy, and unfiltered drama from the world of hip-hop, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. We're bringing you the heat before the headlines. No sugarcoating, no capping. This is not just a channel. It's a movement. Until next time, stay dangerous, stay questioning, and remember, in the rap game, loyalty is everything. But loyalty ain't federal proof.